Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Bledisloe Cup. We are the General's Gentlemen. We have transcended esports and we're moving into the field of rugby. For those of you who don't understand that joke, the Bledisloe Cup is a tournament between New Zealand and Australia in rugby, and that is exactly what we have here. It is in fact in company of Heroes 2 format. Burmie will be our man representing Australia.
I can't beat that, man. That was phenomenal. Well done. And life is going to be the Kiwis, the New Zealander man at the south here is the Brits. So this is going to be very interesting here. This is basically going to be a fanboy montage because Burmie and Lifer are two players that we're huge fanboys of. Lifer we actually know in person in real life. Burmie not so much, but I'm a big fan of his playstyle. I've played with him a fair bit in 2v2s. He's from Queensland, I believe. I think it's Queensland.
Somewhere around that area. Man, I miss Lifer. While we're on that subject.
He's coming back soon, though.
I'm very keen for him to come back. Yeah, super hyped for that. I do miss our man Lifer. Though he plays across the sea, that indeed is the benefit of esports. Transcends those national borders. Have a nice friendly skirmish here. And the opener for Burmie will be double MG42. Interesting.
Quite bizarre. Where actually is it though? It's a very good map for two MGs though, especially against the Brits. That being said though, a quick sniper could be a bit of a problem against two MGs early on, because if you can have one MG locking down the middle, another MG locking down in this house, then it's going to be hard really getting any work done. But that's where the sniper or the mortar pit would come in. A great map for mortar pit, especially as Lifer is the south, so you can put it behind the hedge or behind this house. There's a fair few options. I think the south definitely has better time positioning the mortar pits than what the north does. Probably the best spots here for north. This is a bit too far away.
The haystacks are a nice blocker. They're not the dream. They're not the dream hedge, but the haystacks are better than nothing. So it will be Lifer pushing up the left-hand side. Pretty solid play, really. I mean, moving in for two sections together. He has a Vickers on his flank covering his cutoff. So really, there's no reason for him to not push.
Sandbags too as well. That's nice to see. Also, I feel like a bit of a disclaimer. We can't take credit for that Bledisloe Cup joke. He actually titled the replay Bledisloe Cup.
Yeah.
So. Not our material.
Love your work. Not our material, but we have enjoyed using it nonetheless. And the Vic is actually going to be suppressed here, Machine. That one's going to have to run away after setting up and then packing up, unless he tries to fight this one.
No chance. If he was behind heavy cover, perhaps. Behind the light cover, he'll just get suppressed. That's one of the advantages of garrisons, is they're immune to suppression. So the MG duels do go quite well in the favor of whoever's in the house. That being said, though, if the Vickers goes in this house, he should be able to trade that. I think it's actually within range. The Vickers have a lot of range, especially when they're in the garrisons. And wow, a crazy game. Flanking already this MG42 in the middle. It's a very aggressive playstyle coming out of Lifer. Has gone 3 infantry sections and a Vickers, where normally you would see only 3 tier 1 units and then into a quick tier 2. Going for the engineer. So I think Lifer wants a mortar pit. He would really benefit from a sniper with the 2 MGs.
Yeah, having seen the 2 MGs as well, Machine, the one in the garrison, obviously the one he was flanking earlier. So with that knowledge, it'd be interesting to see what he does go for. Sniper would be the most obvious choice. Try and get a bit of map control back with the sniper. Put yourself in a position where you can throw that mortar pit down, covering that central victory point and the center of the map. Currently not in a bad spot in terms of points though. Fuel is connected, munitions is connected, has the VP. It's not a terrible spot for the south player to be in.
This is... Wait, was there a Grenadier squad?
No.
Oh, two Pioneers.
Yeah, 2 Pioneers, yeah.
Okay. I just noticed there isn't really much units on the field for Burmie, but he's gone double MG, double Pio, Scout Car into a pack. See, this is why we like Burmie.
Yeah.
He's the Oceanic Red Wings.
Bro, you gave away, you forgot to mention double Telemine
Wow, yeah.
That was a free opportunity right there.
Now, this is so clever, though, because Burmie doesn't have any Panzerfaust. There's no Grenadiers, there's no snares. So he really needs to rely on these Telemines. I like how he's going for this really janky build, but he realizes the limitations of his build, and he's adapting to compensate.
Very, very intelligent, and puts Lifer in a decision spot machine because does he want the AEC? You've got to assume that he does, but does he want the sniper? You've got to assume he does as well. Has to get something out to deal with this 222 though.
Yeah, definitely. On a map this open, any of the light vehicles are very powerful, especially against Brits that don't have any snares. It can be quite hard to deal with, and Lifer, he actually can afford his AEC as far as... Whoa, mortar pit.
Oh, backwards mortar pit. Interesting.
Now, it's going to give him a great way of clearing out the garrison, but it won't give him any means to deal with this scout car, which right now is the problem, because we're seeing Burmie starting to push up and decap these points, which previously he was having trouble with. The problem with this build, 2 Pyos, 2 MGs, is you can lock down the map, but you really can't cap much with only 2 Pyos and no Grens.
Certainly is limiting, and it means you can't take any head-on engagements. Ordinarily, you have a Gren squad behind cover. If every section walks into them, you can win that engagement. That is certainly a winnable engagement. That is not the case with Pioneers. They will lose out hard at pretty much all ranges.
If they get a flamer early on, they can be quite effective against the Tommy squads.
Yeah.
Oh, the Pioneers getting very low. They were repairing the 222 while being focused, so they dropped pretty quickly. The half-track is here as well, with a flame projectors being upgraded. This is crazy. I don't know why the Tommies are still here, though. They have no reason to trade against these vehicles. He's going to lose 2 models, maybe even 3, for no reason.
The flame's going to pop out of nowhere, machine.
He was trying to kill the 222, and he may have been able to if it wasn't for that flame half-track, but even then, the 222 is going to just drive away. Unless your opponent is a huge MacBook noob, they're just going to drive the 222 away when it gets to 10% health and go, oh wait, I might lose this, I'm going to drive away now.
I'm not sure. Did Burmie scout the mortar pit? I mean, you've got to assume before... I just want to know what the timing was there. I mean, going for the forward reinforce would have been fantastic, but instead we see the flame upgrade come down on that half track. So I'm just wondering if the mortar started firing and then he went, okay, there's probably not going to be an AEC here due to manpower restraints. Now I can go for the flame upgrade and actually have some pressure with it. Just would have been interesting to see.
Perhaps you're right there, because it's a very late AEC, and even with the pack and the 2 tellers, it's going to have a good time against 2 of those light vehicles. I'm going to quickly turn these game sounds down. They're a little bit obnoxious. My apologies. There we are. So, the problem with this mortar pit is it's a bit too defensive. It still has a fair bit of range, though. The ideal position for this mortar pit would have been about here somewhere. But the problem is that MG was in the house, which would have prevented this mortar pit from going down. So, I feel like Lifer didn't have much choice in that situation. He needed the mortar pit to counter that garrison in particular, but then because of that, it means it's a little bit too defensive. So one thing I really want to shout out as well is look at this mine placement here, and having a mine that deep is, well, that safe, I suppose, is very good when you're Brits and you have no snares, because then your opponent, seeing that, is more likely to go for those very deep dives, chasing after squads on retreat. Whereas if you're versing the US, then it's too risky to go for those base dives. But against Brits, having those very defensive mines is often worth doing, especially against OKW that has Panzer IIs. See, one here as well.
Yeah, really nice play there from Lifer, and not skimping on his other upgrades as well, just to get mines out. A couple of these infantry sections medicked up and healing. Also, the minesweeper available on the rear echelon. So just solid munitions investment across the board. The ACs on the field really was the only choice for Lifer. Needs it out, especially with a 222 and Flammenwerfer on the field.
So I hope Lifer plays the munitions count game, where he looks at his opponent's composition and goes, okay, there's no grenadiers, there's no LMGs, there's no rifle nades, there's no Faust. He must have a very big bank of munitions. Sure, he has the flame half track, but that's it. And if he clues this out correctly, he won't use the AEC too aggressively. Look at this mine. There's no sweeper there as well. AEC gets hit by the pack, and the mine goes up on the Pioneers, but the 222 chasing after the AEC. Second pack shot misses on the ground, which keeps that AEC alive. The 222 does enough damage that it'll finish off an AEC that's been hit by 2 pack shots. Same with the Stuart.
Very nice bait coming out there by Burmie. Had the pack set up ready to go, had the 222 for support, baited the AEC and manages to keep the now veteran C2 Flame Half-Track alive.
The half-track has really awkward veterancy bonuses though, because both Vet 2 and 3 give you reinforcement radius, but you lose reinforce when you hit the flamer upgrade.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
You get extra mobility and side, but it's really nothing important. The veterancy was a bit of an oversight, because originally you didn't lose the reinforcement when you hit the flamer upgrade. Likewise, same with the meat chopper upgrade, the quad half-track for the Soviets. So they really should rework the veterancy. It's a little bit redundant.
Certainly agree with that machine. Looking towards our victory points. 490 for Mr. Burmie, 384 for Lifer.
Already a great start though for Burmie, because on Lungers you can have those long drawn out games because the VP's hard to get a triple cap off. But when you already have your opponent down to 380 at this early on in the game, 11 minutes is still somewhat early, so he's in a pretty good spot. I also love how he has this MG bunker in the middle. It's going to make capping the middle a lot harder. That being said, the AEC can wipe it pretty easily, so he needs to have the pack nearby. That's probably the biggest mistake here, is the pack isn't really in position. Maybe he needs a second pack as well for that. Yeah, the AEC is just killing that from the front.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Burmie was expecting a flank there. Maybe the AEC going in from the edge, but the MG bunker goes down. Lifer micros well and gets the AEC out of dodge, so it is safe. The mortar pit was also in range of that MG bunker, just for the sake of range.
So there's two engineers here for Lifer, and I think part of the reason is because this mortar pit was getting focused down quite low. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it was the flame half-track over the wall. But needed to repair that up. And the AEC, of course, still suffering from the map control a little bit, but still has the main points here. Has his VP, the munis, and the fuel. I love how Burmie has this cache as well. He's had it for a while. When you're so far ahead in a game of Company of Heroes, and you can spend that manpower, it's absolutely worth getting that fuel advantage in the long run.
Certainly is. AEC's actually found the flame half-track here, but it's trying to bait the AEC over the mine, but no, mine...
Oh, close one. The AEC could have blown that telemine up. Actually gets the flame half-track. Almost got it too. Lifer didn't chase that one down very aggressively, and again, I wonder if that's just him being lucky, or if it's him going, okay, that is the world's most common mine spot.
Yeah, it seems like the intelligent move, because not only did Lifer not chase, he chased a little bit and it wasn't on the road. He chased along the edge of the road, so it seems like it was intentional. Just the way he microed the AEC. He could have gone on the road and he decided not to. He stayed off it and just chased long enough to get the last shot down. See, I think we'll err on the side of Life as a mad dog video game player.
Placing mines is quite counterculture and quite hipster in a way, that you want to avoid doing what's cool, because if it's too predictable, your opponent just won't path over it. And then, for example, if you build the mine in a really weird spot in the open here, you're actually probably more likely to hit that mine, because your opponent's going to be avoiding the road intentionally and then veering off and hitting it.
I've always been a big fan of hipster mines machine. I'm all over that. Yeah, I tell you what. Just while we're on a hipster game, would you like to tell me what Burmie's building?
An Osmond? Wait, I don't even know what that is.
What is that
machine? Oh, the Broomba!
Oh yeah, it is.
Man, it's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, you see the icon here. Like, is that a new unit? Have we like added in something new? I'm not
so
sure.
Effective now though. One of the most recent patches that not only made tier 4 cheaper to get to, it also buffed the Broomba. It's a very powerful unit now. Oh, the Peagrens get wide. Burmie, what's going on there, buddy?
Ouch, that is not fun. Obviously, I'm not sure what he was invested in. Probably really happy to get the Broomba out, but that's the cost of one of his few capping squads. That was a big manpower investment from Burmie.
I wonder how many shots it takes for him to get this. I think it's 2, maybe 3, but yeah. So the thing is with this build from Lifer is going 3 infantry sections and a Vickers early on. You're so vulnerable to snipers and to vehicles, and we saw that he got punished for it. But it actually gives him really good scaling to the late game, because then he's going to have 3 squads of vetted infantry sections. They're not that vetted yet, but they're on their way there to vet 3. One of them's already vet 2, the other one's quite close. So he's going to have 3 squads of those vetted Tommies, which he can then get the weapon racks, get the Brens, get the squad sizes. Whereas for Burmie, all he has is MGs and Pioneers. This really isn't a late game scale and composition for Burmie. He has this Brumbar though, which is a fantastic unit to have, especially in this situation where there isn't any vehicles yet for Lifer. So I think Burmie is going to have to really rely upon this Brumbar getting some work done, because he doesn't have the infantry to combat these infantry sections.
For sure. Life is going for double 6-pounder here as well. Actually added a second one on. Seems like the intelligent choice. You don't want to have one 6-pounder against a Brumbar. The Brumbar will look at you, like, what do you think you're doing there? Using a type of AT that relies on infantry models. I will destroy that.
Incendiary. Oh no, Lifer, you saw it reloading. The rear arm is exposed as well here. It doesn't pop the smoke. Oh, Lifer, what a big mistake. He actually got blocked off by the house there, the little, whatever the hell that is. That was his problem, is he went to circle it, got stuck, got caught on pathing, and then tried to retreat. But definitely a big mistake for not using his smoke. He saw it reloading as well. Whenever you see an MG reload like that, it's pretty. It's a good tell sign that they're going to be using the incendiary ammo, and he could have just gone past it, could have gone behind it. So that's actually a big blow, because the AEC was quite reliant upon keeping the 222 at bay. I mean, the Lifer's playstyle was reliant on using that AEC to keep the 222 at bay, and kind of to an extent the Brumbar as well. Because the Brumbar can just poke away at these 6-pounders, maybe wipe some models and get repaired. There's 2 Pyos, so it's not a big deal.
No, not a big deal. One of them repairing the 222. It's got that veterancy up. Only needs the... Yeah, has the veterancy up, so he's going to be having the ridiculous sight range. Once the 222 moves out, we'll be able to flick to Burmie's point of view and show you what we mean.
Oh, there's no spot on scopes though, but they still do have great range, sight range, which on this map is amazing. So Lifer actually went for his urban assault, which I think is incredibly smart here. Having land mattresses would benefit him greatly, especially against the 2 MGs. And then he has the commandos, which, yeah, probably not going to be amazing, unless he gets a nice flank off and wipes a vetted MG. So we see the 6-pounder getting very low to this Brumbar. Pigrons are moving in for it here. He actually focused it down and wipes it. Meanwhile, the other MG's firing at the 6-pounder.
Nice play, man, around medium range there. The Brumbar, it's safe to go in. He can 1v1 a Brumbar with MG help.
Brumbars are really good.
Brumbars are so good, machine. I'm all over the Brumbar. All of a sudden, Lifer has gone from 2 6-pounders to no 6-pounders.
This is good RNG that he's managed to get 3 shots off in a row. But you have to expect that. Brumbars are going to wipe AT guns very effectively. They're like Sturm Tigers in a sense, AVREs, but steals one of the 6-pounders and takes the other one.
Really quick decision making there as well. I tend to and R over support weapons. Do I want this? Do I not want this?
You called me up. You're like, hey, machine, should I get this pack, or
is it worth it? Or you're playing Axis, and the real question is, should I actually cap this Maxim? Is it worth it, machine? What do you think? You really have to ring up a friend. You have to dial a friend. It's like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, man.
Should I cap the P Charts with my Sturm Pioneers? No, don't do that. So Life is going for a Cromwell, and how do you feel about this Cromwell, Blake?
Look. It's a rather splendid machine.
It's above average.
I don't know. It's an above average Cromwell. I mean, there are 2 packs on the field, but I'm a big fan of the current Fireflies. I'm all over that. But I mean, I feel as if Lifer has enough. I should stop umming around Ari, and I don't need a ringing machine. I can work it out by myself. With 3 infantry sections here, Lifer has enough in terms of anti-infantry. Maybe it would have been better to save up the Firefly. Maybe he didn't want to delay that long. I mean, he's actually got a 55 fuel float, so it was a possibility that he goes for that. And the Cromwell, though, I mean, the main problem is it's not going to penetrate the Brumbar. The Brumbar actually has really good armor.
Do you have any evidence to support this, Blake?
I mean, it looks super tanky. I mean, look at it.
Well, I thought you were going to say that it bounced 4 shots in a row, because it just did that. It bounced every shot of that Cromwell. Yeah, I agree. Pretty spot on. I think something that Lifer could definitely rely on here is he could actually go for Piats, because he has 2 engineers, so he really could just pull out four Piats, which would take that Brumbar down very quickly here. Because the Cromwell's going to have a great time with no snares, and the Firefly is going to be versing 2 AT guns and potentially Shreks as well. So there's a lot of AT on the field. The Cromwell just has to be very careful trying to flank the packs. And once again, the 6-pounder gets decrewed by the Brumba. This is so powerful.
One of the, I think that's a pack, actually goes down to the MG42, so that's good. So the pack has been wiped. This time it's destroyed though. So Lifer, right? Okay. Did he must have built 2 because Lifer that was the 6-pounder of the V2. He must have built another 2. So that means Lifer's built 4. Wait, 4 6-pounders this game.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I think the reason why he's gone for that as well, rather than going for more vehicles, is also because he wants to get the land mattress out. The land mattress does cost fuel. It's 40 fuel, so it will delay your tanks. So often you see British players going very 6-pounder heavy playstyle because they want to save their fuel float for the land mattress. But Burmese countered this very well by going for a quick Brumba, and same with the Panzerwerfer would do the same, where the standard build is quick tier 3, Panzer 4 into a Tiger. And that's where the 6-pounder land mattress playstyle does quite well. So I feel like this is more Lifer's build getting countered quite hard. But at the same time, I would love to see him burn through his munitions float. But so does Burmie though, wow. The thing is with Burmie though, is Burmie has the close air support. This is such a broken ability that if you're gonna float up munitions, this is the ability to float up munitions for.
Yeah,
it can turn tank engagements, and that's a bit of an understatement as well, because it can win you tank engagements. You pop it down, it gets a damage engine on a full health IS-2 from the front, and then Arkenhawk gets triggered.
But I get so triggered. I get triggered all over the world, Machine. All over the world I get triggered. And exactly, Machine. You're right there. It's a great... Oh! Man, hipster and a half. This is what I'm talking about. We'll get onto that in a second, but as I was going to say, it's a really good lock-in from Burmie. He's like, okay, how's my fuel float looking? You know, up around like the 230 mark. What would be a good lock-in here? I should probably go for a Tiger. A Tiger is an intelligent move. A Tiger is an intelligent move. I have a munitions float. That's going to be really great with the Stuka close air support. Just a solid lock-in across the board. But now he's changing it up a bit. Oh! Ouch. I'm triggered, man.
Over the wall. Now he's the armored skirt, so even more bounce is going to be coming through from this Cromwell. He has the 17-pounder.
Yeah, but look at the adjusted build here from Burmie. Burmie goes, I have enough for a Tiger. Oh, no, Panzerwerfer, because he sees the 17-pounder.
Oh! Now, to be fair, he was on, he was on negative cover, so you get a damage bonus against that.
You do.
I still think this is really good RNG. The Brumba, yeah.
Gentlemen do not guarantee your Brumba just flat out kills 2 AT guns head on every single time.
And normally Burmie would be lacking an AT because he's gone for this super quick Brumba rush. But it's because Lifer lost 2 AT guns and he's been behind in fuel for a bit as well. He went his AEC, whereas if you rush a Brumba and Lifer rushed out a Cromwell, it won't go very well for the Axis. By the way, we have a 17-pounder here, and the 17-pounder is incredibly durable, but it's a mobile, and against the Panzerwerfer and a Brumba, and I don't see it being too effective, actually. Oh, it gets the 2-2 over the wall. Nice play by Lifer. The attack round gets it.
Really nice attack round there from Lifer. Very well played. And, the first Panzerwerfer barrage has arrived. It's pretty close, up close and personal, but not quite in the right position. And we actually see Lifer walk away with a 6-pounder. How many 6-pounders has Lifer got? I'm pretty sure he's lost 5 now. We need a Lifer 6-pounder loss count.
Oh, yeah.
So the number of wipes and the amount of times he actually loses the gun itself.
I think that Panzerwerfer barrage may have been in between the two weapons, hoping that it would scatter more than it does. So not on prioritize, big mistake here from Lifer, because now he's also revealed the 17-pounder. So we'll see Burmie most likely not be diving that very aggressively. Burmie actually has a lot of float of resources as well, so he may just build a mortar. A mortar would be an excellent use against this 17-pounder. But no, he's going for a double Panzerwerfer, which will be delaying his Tiger a little bit, but a Tiger is not going to have any impact against this 17-pounder, so who cares if you delay the Tiger?
Yeah, there are no real vehicle threats on the field here for Lifer. A Cromwell is a slight annoyance, not a big problem. No, please I was gonna say, please, Burmie, no lose another Panzer Grenadier squad. I would hate to see that happen.
Yeah.
And Lifer, please no blob support weapons against Panzerwerfer.
Still, a lot of munitions float from both of our players.
Yeah, there is.
And Burmie can get away with it because of his build, but Lifer really should be getting weapon racks. And nades as well. Oh, he has the squad sizes, which is good. But nades are going to be excellent against the MGs. If you flank an MG and he's going to nade off, it's much better than Bren's. I think same with US. Oh, was that the mortar pit? Yeah, the mortar pit's been contributing 12 kills. It's in a very defensive spot, but it still has a pretty decent spot of range. I think it also gets more range at vet. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, never mind.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, a Veterancy 2, you should check machine.
Nope.
Nah, really?
Doesn't get any range at all.
Okay. Interesting.
Panzerwerfer barrage. Oh, that was a great shot. Vic has ended Engineer Squad too.
Wow.
Oh, now we have weapon racks. Excellent. I love now he's going for that now.
Weapon racks
And
are a great choice here for Lifer.
yeah, but I hope he goes for nades because Brens are great against infantry, but against MGs, nades are generally better. Is he going for the 17-pounder?
Yeah, killing it with AT guns, that would be a swaggy indeed. The Tiger's actually going to
Oh,
roll through as well.
yeah, it is.
The gun's actually taking shots. How low is that gun? It took 2 direct shots. The gun itself took shots.
The 17-pounder?
Yeah.
No, there's no such thing.
Isn't it?
No, not in placements
okay,
for Brits.
right.
He's not bracing yet either. Oh, no brace. Loses the 17-pounder. And just to make things even less one-sided, even more one-sided, I mean, for Lifer, the close air supports gets thrown down as well. Oh, this is going horribly.
It certainly is. I was confused by the inconsistent animation. The animation for the 17-pounder taking damage, I haven't seen one in ages actually be built.
Yeah.
It's so rare or seen it take damage. I mean, it's been built against me, but it's inconsistent animation. The animation for the 17-pounder taking damage is the gun takes damage. It's the same animation as a direct hit to an AT gun or a weapon, rather than it doesn't look like that when a PaK-43 gets hit as a comparison. But nonetheless, yeah, terrible is a word and a half for Lifer here. He's on 304 VPs compared to the 385 of Burmie, but that was a nasty push. 17-pounder going down, a lot of Lifer's squads.
It was so well played, though, by Burmie, because he moved his AT guns in, he flanked with the Tiger, everything he needed was there to burst down that 17-pounder as quick as he could. Panzerwerfer barrage going for the mortar pit, and oh man, gets the 6-pounder.
Yeah, it was a good dodge from
This is
Lifer.
heartbreaking. And also, I loved how Burmie used the close air support. It wasn't... I don't think his intention was to kill the Cromwell, but it was just to prevent the Cromwell from going in after the Tiger. So, Lifer's in a really iffy spot here. Doesn't even have his land mattress, so he hasn't made use of this commander at all. Also, excuse me, using the cover combat could be a nice addition to burn through that float. Lost an engineer squad as well, so there's still no Piats.
Things are going wrong, Machine. Things are going wrong. So, during that engagement, was that when the Brumbar went down, or did the Brumbar
Wait, the
go
Brumbar
down?
went down?
Yeah, the Brumbar went down in the middle. But
Oh.
I don't remember actually when that was. I was going to mention it when I finished talking, but yeah,
No,
it
I
was,
didn't.
it
I
was
missed
during
that.
the big engagement, or just before the big engagement, but we were watching another important part of the game while it went down. So we should mention that Brumbar did go down. We did see it, however, we were watching something else at the time.
Maybe it was the 17-pounder
Might have
that
been.
was firing at it whilst the attack was happening.
Yeah.
Because not only was the brace was late, but also it didn't reface, so perhaps it was firing during that. And also, Burmie, he changed the Panzerwerfer out for the Tiger. He actually cancelled the second Panzerwerfer last minute and called that Tiger on by surprise, which was quite decisive. He's going to be rebuilding the Brumbar, though. So, rounding out this composition pretty well. And he still has a float for the close air support. So one thing that Burmie really lacks in this situation, or even has Shreks too for anti-tank. One thing he lacks though is snares, which he has 2 options for. He could go for Grans, or alternatively, he could actually go for the relief infantry, the Ostruppen, a very cheap, durable way of getting those Fausts out. But when you only really have Pioneers and MGs and A-Squad of P-Grans, you're not going to have a lot of models being killed to fuel that upgrade.
Yeah, I suppose the real question here is like how PopCap efficient are those guys at the moment, Machine?
The Ostruppen?
Yeah, the Ostruppen. So
I'm pretty sure they're actually very
very
PopCap efficient.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they are though.
Just yeah, I mean, I was going to suggest, it certainly is an option. I was going to suggest the Burmie. Another way to round out the composition certainly would be a Grenadier squad here. There's nothing wrong with having a Grenadier squad. You know, give it G43s, let it cap some things. That's something that Burmie certainly could do. He really lacks that mobile infantry presence with double MG42, double Pio, double Pack, and a squad of Peagrens. They really aren't combat effective at all. Now the Shrek upgrades.
And the Peagrens are so fragile for their cost. They have more durability than Grens, but because they're Vet 2, they're expensive to reinforce, they have Shrek, you don't want to lose them. So you don't want to be sending the Peagrens in just for vision, hoping to get that last shot off. Whereas if you lose a Vet 0 squad of Grens, you know, okay, who cares? So, but I think Offspring would be better just because they're more durable, and really, the Grenadiers aren't going to be trading at all against these infantry sections with the Brens, with the Vet. But having, again, the capping, as you say, but also just the Fausts. But at the same time, getting the Offstripper is going to be a little bit tricky. Still, you should probably pop it. It's 2 minutes. You can get one squad at least, I think. I have Piets now. Nice.
I suppose that's the other thing. It's like, how many squads will he get? All of his weapons don't exactly bleed machine. It's not like he can send in a couple of Grenadier squads and go aggressive. So makes it harder.
The Pioneers.
Yeah,
that's mainly it.
It's certainly doable.
Oh man. Actually, the Peagrens, what are they doing here? Okay, they retreat now. So where's the AT here for Lifer? I still don't think we really have any. A lot of Brens. Oh, the Firefly. There we go. Now we're talking. Does he have the munis for a tulips? Yeah, he does. He has a lot of munitions still. The Tiger has to be a little bit more careful now, as does the Brumba. The tulips are so powerful. And the close air support's being called in. The tulips, it does less damage, but I would say it's more powerful because you can combo it with the better rate of fire on the Firefly, the 8-second reload time, and the Cromwell. Oh, man. That's the circle of the close air support, but as always, you can't trust the radiuses in this game. Not only MG arcs.
Yeah, I like to use the reticle is wrong. It's just a nice vocabulary, a nice way to for me to remember. Yeah.
It's like me playing Counter-Strike. My reticle's always wrong.
That's what you have to remember when it comes Devil Swing. When you're playing Company of Heroes 2, you never walk inside the near the MG arc or the Panzer headquarters arc. It's no good time for you.
Yeah, and this close air support is pretty nuts. So oh, nice. Lifer's used his vehicle crew repairs to repair both his vehicles, burn through that munitions.
The enemy are trying to overrun our HQ.
Panzerwerfer doesn't have much damage against these emplacements, neither does the Stuka, but it's great wipe potential and manpower bleed against these squads of infantry, and especially this 6-pounder.
Our capture point.
I don't know if Burmie knows he can just go for this one, with the exception of those really well-placed mines that remember Lifer threw down. Look at this here. I mean, Firefly's back to full health, as is the Cromwell, and now the Cromwell is much more effective, as it's the front line for the Firefly, the scouting. It might not be able to penetrate, but it certainly can see things.
You can block off the retreat path as well and allow the Firefly to get more shots off. And if you're close, even from the front, then you have a pretty decent chance of penning. It's just when you're firing at max range that you can't rely of the Cromwell's penetration when firing at something as durable as a tier 4 tank or a Tiger. So,
and I can't believe we have a Wehrmacht vs UKF game on Lungra's car, and there hasn't been a single sniper built all game.
Yeah, I'm a big fan actually.
What is
I love
this?
that. I really don't enjoy snipers in this matchup. It's very
gimmicky.
AFK for 5 minutes and wait for the counter snipe, which may or may not actually ever happen. Yeah, I really don't enjoy that. I like at least with the Soviets, because it's the 2-man sniper squad, you at least have that superiority. Oh, the Cromwell though, that's not superior pathing. Gets away though, bit late there by Lifer, and yeah, I don't know what Lifer can do here. That being said though, it's only 215 VP. This is kind of the problem with Lungers, is Burmie's had such a fantastic game. He's been outplaying Lifer pretty hardcore, but you just can't secure the triple cap on Lungers just because it's just too hard to extend on a map this open. And try and get all 3 VPs.
Against a decent player, you never tend to cap that 3rd VP, and Lifer certainly is a decent player. He's saying, no way, if you're going to take me out, you're going to have to sit on 2 VPs, give me a chance to build up my army again and potentially come back into this game.
I really wish this VP was changed to here.
Yeah.
And this VP was swapped with this here.
Yeah,
And then you would actually have a very competitive time contesting those VPs. So we have Burmie going for more caches. He's going to be floating up his manpower and he's pretty much pop cap as well. So it's the obvious choice to just build those caches. He goes for a munitions cache, but it's kind of a weird thing because he has both so much munitions and fuel. It's like, what do I want more? I have both.
Bunker spam's also a doable thing, that you just pop MGs wherever you feel like popping them. And it's just a delay as well. It's an APM sink. It's a damage sink for these tanks. But the hell with that, because the tank can potentially go in here. Nice Firefly kiting from Lifer, however.
I like how Burmie had the Pigrins escorting the Tiger.
It's like, oh, there's a bunker there. I better kill it. And like 20, 30 seconds later, you've killed the bunker.
Yeah, exactly. And the main thing is no pop cap. Is you're spending resources to delay your opponent, but they don't cost any pop cap, so it's not a big deal. When you have no alternatives, then why not? Actually putting a medic bunker here is Burmie, rather than the MG bunker. Oh, that's probably why he wants to heal up his repairing pioneers in the 6-pounder as well. A land mattress, now we're talking.
That's what I'm feeling, Lifer.
But at the same time, there's the close air support being thrown down. The Cromwell's in a pretty bad spot. Brumba comes through, misses the shot, but the close air support, whoa, the Cromwell survives barely. He needs to get out of there.
Yeah.
He's out of the reticle, but he's fine because he's got no sight.
Yeah, no vision in the area, and we do see Burmie decide to back away. The Tiger took a little bit too much damage from the Firefly.
The double Pyos went down. I think it was the land mattress.
Burmie's
yes.
going to rebuild those.
7 kills on the land mattress, so definitely that one. Mortar has hit Vet 3, so it's going to be more durable.
Not a bad comeback mechanic machine. Take out the Pioneers, the Tiger's going to need time to repair here. He's seen fantastic Panzerwerfer barrages so far.
Yeah, I think he was just blindly aiming for the land mattress. Almost got it too.
For a while, so.
12 kills though. Maybe we've missed some things on screen. But
not really. Had some really successful barrages early on. Remember the double wipe, the NG, I think NG MG wipe that I had earlier on.
These Pigrins are very deep. The Firefly is Vet 2 though. Tank Destroyers probably are the most effective scaling units in the game as far as veterancy is concerned. A Vet 3 Firefly or a Vet 3 Jackson SU-85, those units are just so strong compared to their Vet 0 equivalent.
We actually could have seen the Pigrins go down there, but Lifer, with the walking the Firefly away from the Pigrins, he screwed up the Bren placement for the inventory sections. They ought to jump out of way of the Firefly, and that means they couldn't fire their Brens. The Pigrins squad actually walks away from that one, so a bit unfortunate. Could have been a wipe. Three squads of Vet 3 inventory sections with Brens.
Oh, the pack actually sets up there. I thought that Firefly could have gone down. And I wonder what Lifer goes for now. Does he go for a second Firefly? Does he go for another land mattress? I think both would help him. Because you wanted a second Firefly because there's a Brumba and a Tiger. But at the same time, there's 2 packs and a squad of Shreks. So I think he probably...
Does he go Comet Machine?
Yeah, no, that's actually a good idea. He could certainly go for a Comet. What he really would want to have is a...
It's just pop cap is the main thing I'm considering here. I mean, just looking towards it. He's on 82 already. With the units he has, he can't afford to go for both a land mattress and a Firefly. Too much pop cap. Oh yeah, there we go. He's going for hammer.
So the Comet's going to allow him to play very aggressively because the Comet can take a lot of damage from the packs. Oh, the Pioneers once again. They retreat out just in time. But the pack will not. The pack goes down. The land mattress is so strong. It has a massive scatter, but it just fires so many rockets that you will wipe things if they're tightly packed.
Tiger only partially repaired here.
Well, let's see if Lifer goes for the pack. That's what he should do right now, is destroy the wreck of the pack. If he has vision of it. He does. He should really destroy that pack. I was going for the Tiger, actually. We see a Tulips come through. It's available. And once again, the close air support. But now this means that Burmie's actually spent his bank of munitions. He no longer has any more floated up, but he still has a fair bit of territory. And he does have this cache still. He should probably get more caches up here. So there was 3 close air supports that didn't really achieve much. And I feel like the reason why is because they've always been very defensive. They've always been a disengagement or a safety net to when Burmie engages. They haven't been a means of trying to chase down these vehicles, and that's just the nature of the composition of Burmie. He doesn't have any mobile AT. I mean, he has the P-Grams, but they're so fragile against 3 squads of double Bren Tommies, so they can get forced away very quickly. And then secondly, there's the Tiger, which has to be very careful of the Firefly and the Tulips. So there isn't really any units like a Panther or a P4 that can chase down after these vehicles, and that's where the close air support does well at wiping tanks.
Yeah, it certainly does. Pushing tanks to the edge of the map or into a bad situation and then dropping the close air support down right on top of it. So not only do you have vision, obviously, with the chasing tank there that's doing damage, the court tank is in the middle of a reticle, and a lot of the time you can position the close air support in a way that if you try and get out of the reticle, it means you're at the mercy of the Panther or the chasing tank.
Or pathing.
Or pathing. At the mercy of pathing, yeah.
So one other thing about Hammer as well is it will give access to the gammon bombs, which are very expensive, but there's a lot of float here still for life, and that will allow him to wipe the bunkers, I believe, the packs, the MGs, and plus also one of the great things about Hammer as well is the ability that allows your anti-tank to track vehicles through fog of war if you hit them, which is a strong bonus for the Firefly in particular, because it means that you can get a second shot off even if you don't actually have traditional sight of a vehicle. You tag the Tiger once, and then without exposing the Firefly, you can get a second shot off because the Tiger's revealed. And it's Vet 3 now, so that rate of fire should be pretty effective combined with the penetration and damage.
Seems like I blinked and I missed it getting to Vet 3 machine. I remember it being Vet 2, I don't really remember it being Vet 1. It didn't take very long, and now the Firefly is going to be all over this Brumbar.
So let's see if he pops the Tulips here. The 6-pounder's in position for it. Oh, let's it back away. Didn't pop the Tulips there.
Trying not to go for the engagement, however, Lifer has control over the central VP. Firefly still on 3/4 health. It can deal with a Tiger if it finds the range, and it certainly will here.
And man, that damage and pen is insane. And of course, also the emergency war speed is going to be really helping as well. The speed, the received accuracy. I think this is certainly a great choice, was the Hammer. Even if not for the Comet, which he is going for, but just all those bonuses really help.
I've never been more glad that tank destroyers are working as intended.
Oh, it's the best, isn't it?
Man, I'm all over it. I am all over it.
This is probably a great... It's a better matchup for Wehrmacht because tank destroyers are so potent. The SU-85, Fireflies and such. But you have P-Grens with Shreks, which are very effective. It's just because the fact that there's 3 Tommies that they're not really having an impact, but they are an excellent counter to the Fireflies. And the Comets arrive now on the field.
That's close air support again, machine. It's a defensive zoning one, or maybe not.
That was the Comet that went down.
That was a Comet that went down. It was a pack, Tiger Shot, Stuka.
And Shreks as well.
Shreks, yeah.
So it was pretty much every AT, all the AT that Burmie actually had. So the Comet's durable, but there is certainly an abundance of AT. If a land mattress comes through, one Pyro squad goes down. Maybe the second one, was that the P-Grens? He lost the P-Grens.
P-Grens went down. Yeah, they're going to drop, and to rectify your potential thought patterns, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't see a squad of Royal Engineers go down. We saw one model drop, and we saw the icon switch to the rest of the squad. So, yeah, and it was confusing for me, so doubtless would have been confusing for you if you were watching.
Wow. So that's going to be one wipe of the Tommy squad.
Oh, that was pretty brutal. Yeah, Tommy's going to be going down. This is a squad wipe for squad wipe, and Burmie says, I have the fuel float. I will fill out this pop cap.
This Tiger. Taking a lot of damage from that 6-pounder. Comet's on the chase. Panther is being built, but it's a little bit far away here. Comet, if he gets the 1v1, it's going to be an excellent trade if he can do it.
Yeah, Cromwell's going to be coming in here, Machine. The Firefly is chasing this one down as well. Burmie's going to keep backing away, but Life is going to dive to base. This is excellent game knowledge.
The Panzerwerfer as well could get focused. Bouncing is the Tiger, even from the Firefly, but it's just a matter of time. There it goes. Comet gets the kill, but look at this Firefly. The Pack and the Brumbar have the rear armor. The Firefly shouldn't have gone that deep, but can he get the Panzerwerfer?
Brumbar went down to the last shot of the Firefly as it was backing away, so that's gone down. The Cromwell can probably dive the Panzerwerfer, as you said.
Nice.
The Panzerwerfer goes down. The Tiger is down. The Brumbar is down. Burmie's going to be building a Panther now. He has to float up more manpower for more tanks.
So does he actually... No, he doesn't cancel the Panther, even though he could have called in the Tiger. And the Firefly survived. That's the main thing there. If the Firefly went down, I would say it still would have been a pretty even game. But now this Panther is going to have absolutely no impact. With this Vet 3 Firefly, he may wipe the Cromwell just because the Cromwell was out of position, but the Cromwell's a lot faster than the Panther, especially if he gets Vet 3, I believe. Yeah, Vet 3 gives even more speed. And, actually, he may lose it here. Where's the Firefly? There was a mine there, though. Panther doesn't have the vision, even though he probably would have the range.
Well,
he paths around it. Maybe he knew there was a mine there, or just worked it out. There's a Brit on the ground as well, and, wow, the Panther's committing to this. 6-pounder's there, and there's a mine. Oh, no. He doesn't even get the Cromwell, either. The Cromwell's going to be behind the mortar pit, but can he actually path through that wall?
He's going to try and dive with the Panther. Main gun destroyed. It should go down here.
He saved the vehicle crew repairs. It turned the difference there. Now he's smoked off as well. He loses it to a nice attack round by Burmie, but the Firefly is a little bit too scared to really contribute here.
Healing all this time as well. We've just got to see some good 6-pounder micro here from Lifer. It's not perfect, but this shot might come off. That's good 6-pounder micro. That's where you want it. Panther right in the middle of the reticle.
And eventually the Firefly will emerge and just kill it.
Yeah, can just heal up anyway. So we saw a Tiger go... we saw a Tiger go down. We saw a Brumbar go down. We saw a Panzerwerfer go down. We're about to see a Panther go down. The Panther has fallen now as well. Lifer is chopping his way through Burmie's fuel flow.
But no problems, because Burmie still has 400 fuel. So he can rebuild the Tiger, but... I just think at this stage, with the Vet 3 Firefly, it's just not worth. Don't even bother, because those tanks, the Panther and the Tigers, are just going to get completely decimated by this Vet 3 Firefly.
I mean, like, what does Burmie do here? I mean, he doesn't have a huge manpower float machine. He's got a huge fuel float. That's what he wants to spend here. He doesn't have any vetted infantry on the field or any nice easy ways to vet them up. Whereas we look at Lifer, he still has 2 of these squads of infantry sections fully vetted with double Brens. Very scary.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot. There's no doubt about it. Especially if you just compare the pop cap. 50 pop cap for Burmie, 75 for Lifer. Probably the best thing you can do here is just go for a sniper and some grenadiers, I would say. And just try and just avoid building infantry, avoid building tanks, I should say. Same with when you're versing Axis that have an elephant or a Yag Tiger or both. You know, if you're playing a 4v4 and your opponent has elephant, a Yag Panzer, and just a whole bunch of AT, sometimes it's just, you know what, it is not worth building any more tanks.
Is it worth going Stoog here for Burmie?
Maybe. Yeah, it's an option. Doesn't have his tier 3 though.
Yeah.
He should actually 1v1 this year. Tulips, Firefly, and just the crazy DPS. The Raider, but actually the AT gun as well. The pack in the background. He may lose a Vet 3 Firefly here. Let's see. The pack hits the ground, and there's actually a smoke barrage there from the vehicle crew repairs, and the 6-pounder's missing as well.
Has that stun bugged?
No attack round from Burmie. What's going on here? He'll get it now, won't he?
But what is going on with Lifer? The Firefly's not moving.
No, it's because he's got the crew repair, dude.
Oh,
It's
right,
the crew
okay,
repair.
right, he crew repaired. Okay, right, of course, yeah, what? I thought, I was confused because I thought the sun bugged for a second, but I'm like, alright, no, he's trying to repair through us and take it out with the 6-pounder. Yeah, smart from Lifer, it almost worked out, but Burmie on point with his attack grounds through smoke.
I don't think that was the right answer there, though, from Lifer. I think if he just stayed in that engagement the way it was, he would have traded the Firefly for the Tiger.
I believe the problem was he popped crew repair when he was stunned. That's why. He didn't think he would live long enough. He didn't think he would live long enough to actually get a shot off on the Tiger. So it was worth popping the crew repair, because if he didn't pop the crew repair, he wouldn't have got a shot off. And that would have worked. That was actually correct, because the pack missed. The pack missed the shot.
Yeah, but the thing is because the smoke was there, it meant the 6-pounder wasn't firing
see as
either.
well. Yeah, that's
what,
true.
what
Yeah.
was going to happen most likely is if he just left it, the Firefly would have died, and then the Tiger would have also died to the 6-pounder, and then that trade probably would have benefited Burmie, even though the Tiger is worth more just because it was a Vet 3 Firefly. But ultimately, it was the positioning of the pack there. That pack turned that engagement around. So that was a very lucky break now for Burmie. I don't know if lucky is the right word, but we'll say a fortunate break there for Burmie, because now there's this Vet 3 Firefly down, now Burmie can actually use this Tiger and go for a Panther. He doesn't have to worry about getting completely owned by the Firefly, and really even at Vet 3, the Firefly, it should still have something screening for it. You want to have infantry or a tank to give you sight, so you can just sit at max range kiting.
Lifer doesn't have the luxury of a fuel float here machine. He's got the Comet out, but he can't just go for a Firefly straight off the back of that. He's only on 50 fuel at the moment, pretty low income, obviously no caches. Burmie, let's talk about this unit choice machine.
The flame half track, I mean, I think he wants to clear out this bunker in the middle here. You could just go for a mortar though, but let's see, the Comet's getting focused back by the pack. It's Vet 2, so it has a pretty good rate of fire. Yeah, I don't really I'm not a fan of this half track, but it actually did wipe a Vickers in the garrison. He may survive too. Yeah, he may get away from this one. The Comet missed the second shot, and he's just circling the 6-pounder, so it's actually doing incredibly well. That 6-pounder will go down, and it means that he can't focus the Tiger. What? What a mad dog.
Man, baller play there from Burmie. The flame-driven drive-by sets everything alight, takes out a couple of life and support weapons here. They're both going to go down. It seems like every 5 minutes we're discussing how the other player just simply can't win this game.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It just switches over.
And
yeah.
this is actually getting quite close now as well, because the VP situation, it's 150 across the board, and there was briefly a triple cap there for Lifer. And looks like it's still open for contention. I like how Life is actually going for this third VP. And the reason why is because he has the infantry advantage. He's got 2 vetted squads of brand up infantry sections, even with engineers as well. And Burmie only has pioneers. So Burmie really can't cap the VPs effectively, which is part of the reason why a triple cap is actually possible in this situation. But he has this Tiger, which is a big problem. The Comet can't exactly trade against it on its own. But once Lifer gets another Firefly in conjunction with this Comet, then Lifer will be in a great spot. A lot of manpower as well, so might be worth just going for a cash in this situation. If not, just get another 6-pounder.
Popcap's almost even. VP's almost even. This game is incredibly close. Machine Land Mattress is getting work done. 19 kills
man.
here. Oh.
The pack goes down. There's a Vet 2 pack as well, very important there. And the MG looks like it will survive, but this Land Mattress has had an absolutely huge impact this game. It's wiped a lot of support weapons.
Panther right for Burmie. The fuel float has been burned through. So... I'm not sure what he goes for here, whether he spends a bit more of that fuel, whether he just saves up enough fuel for another Tiger, just in case another Firefly shows up. Life has scouted the Panther now. It should be a Firefly.
Or if he just goes just crazy Piat spam.
Yeah.
If he wants you to play the VPs, he can just
True.
spam a whole bunch of engineers and, yeah, just get Piats focused away the tanks. Because Panthers and Tigers... A Panther and a Tiger aren't going to have amazing anti-infantry. The Tiger will obviously have some, but if you have 4 or 5 squads of engineers with all the Piats, which you normally can't do in a 1v1, you see it in team games all the time, but because Lifer just has so much float of all of the munitions, he can just go for all the Piats that he dreams. And even if he just goes Brens.
Don't let your dreams have a lack of Piats, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure they are Piat full. And certainly it's a possibility for Lifer. It's very micro-heavy trying to get a huge tank like a Tiger and poke a blob of Piats while trying to avoid shots. It's not a fun time.
Yeah, you have to play on edge against the Piats for sure. So we do actually have the Tiger, the Firefly being built. I think that's very reasonable. Definitely wanting to have that tank destroyer, if not the Piats. So the Firefly is going in its YOLO mode once again. I don't see it surviving this time. We have some Piats, and there goes the half-track. The Tiger's collapsing, and so is the Panther. The 6-pounder is getting circled by the Panther, and this Comet could go down here. It's very fast, though. It can just outrun the Tiger, and again, there's these deep mines here on the road.
Oh, these deep mines could be brutal, Machine, because guess what's
Oh,
building, fella? Oh, that's one way to avoid mines. Burmie Life is going for the Firefly. It's just about to show up, but it won't have access to the tulips yet.
Tiger greater than Hedge.
Summon Firefly.
And fires through the building, does the Panther. Main gun destroyed on this Comet. Oh, the mine, though. The Panther survives it. He avoids it, I should say. What about the Tiger? I think the Tiger's going on a straight collision course. He will hit a T-1. He gets it. And now this Firefly is, alright, I'm here. I'm ready to party. Bring it on. Give me that side armor.
Support weapons are indeed down. I mean, the packs aren't there anymore. Burmie's going for a Burmie, but he needs to cancel that. He's going to need the fuel for the Tiger tank.
He does. He cancels
Yeah,
it.
Firefly keeps coming in here. Burmie plays it smart. He knows he's going to lose the Tiger. Tulips have been upgraded. They are out. They have been fired. The Tiger is trapped. Life isn't going to let this one get away. It has destroyed main gun. The Panther also managed to escape here. So Burmie, he's down on 36 pop cap here to compare to Life has 84. Life really didn't lose anything during that engagement.
No, there's something that Life has done consistently is weasel his way out of losing these tanks. And so Life base dive, Burmie didn't lose a tank.
Yeah.
And then Burmie base dive, Life didn't lose a tank. And almost lost his combat. Again, he kept it alive. And we could see more pyros get wiped by the land mattress. So it looks like we're going to have, once again, Life throwing down the trench, which I absolutely love this. Having that trench in the middle of VP really slows things down. You have a 5-man squad. It's going to take a Tiger a long time to flush out that trench with a squad inside. And time is all he needs when he has only 100 VPs.
Certainly, Machine, and Avikas is certainly the way to do that. When you get into a point, you're in a low VP game, things are getting desperate. Players tend to go for things they wouldn't ordinarily go for, i.e., I'm going to send one squad to try and cap your VP, and MG is a perfect way to say, no, you are not going to send one squad to cap a VP. The MG can just sit there, and it really forces your opponent to rethink, and rethinking at a late stage of the game will cost you VPs.
You know what my favorite desperation tactic is?
Tell me, Machine.
Is the 50-minute assault gren.
Hey!
Is when you haven't built assault grens the entire game because they suck.
Yeah.
And then you have 10 VPs left, and you assault grens, go, sprint. But now we have the Firefly and the Comet, the Dream Team Wombo combo. In this situation, I think Lifer can go for the triple cap again just because he has so much squads of infantry and Burmie does not. Or he can just play the 2 VP camp. Depends. As long as he locks this down, preferably have some mines up here on the north.
Mines would be fantastic. We have seen Lifer have a trend away from mines lately, considering the munitions fleet as well. Really should have more than he does. I can't believe both of the deep mines end up going down here. The Firefly's got to be careful. It's actually under pack fire. Managed to juke away the arc.
Ooh,
the
close.
Stukas are going to be called in. Burmie's getting desperate.
Plus, he has support, and actually, he's going in with a Panther for the flank. Very important, because that gives vision. So let's see what he focuses here. The Comet is obviously not as important as the Firefly, but the Comet's blocking the shot off here. Getting a fair bit of damage as well. And will he have the tulips? He's not going to use it just yet. He really should burn it. He's stunned from the close air support. And no tulips. Oh, big misplay here from Lifer, but he thinks he just wants to get out of the close air support. Loses the Comet. Is there a 6-pounder nearby? Oh, it's in the forward, in the middle of the map here. But the Tiger goes down to the 6-pounder.
Yeah, Tiger's gone down at the same time here, Machine. Burmie was busy microing in the wrong spot. There are 6-pounders on the retreat path. Pioneers are going to go down. All these squads are going to be wiped. The Pioneers definitely going to fall to this Vickers if it manages to retarget.
The Firefly's back in the fight. It's a rear armor shot off here. And the 6-pounder actually blocked the Blitzkrieg, so he gets out of the arc. Nice Blitzkrieg in time, but he's not done just yet. The 6-pounder should get this kill, unless the elevation hates Burmie. The Lifer, nope. Elevation doesn't obscure the kill this time.
It certainly doesn't, and I think that's going to be the GG Machine.
Sync error detected.
There.
We'll have to call it a draw then.
Oh, I think we'll have to, yeah. I mean, it was close, but we will have to call it a draw.
I love how that Firefly survived. at the end there. Once again, Life weaseling his way out of that tank loss. So that was a fantastic game. Not only was there some very clever compositions from our two players, very off meta, but quite clever at the same time, is that was just some crazy engagements. I was a big fan of that game, and yeah, it was conflicted because it was just fanboying over these two people. It was great, you know. It was. Yeah.
We're swinging one way and the other. It's just like you're in an AFL game, right? And you're just like putting on one scarf and sitting with one team. The next quarter you put on another scarf and you go and sit with the other team. So yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. I really enjoy supporting both players. It was an amazing game. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think again a big shout out to Burmie's build, because anyone can do a crazy off meta wacky build, but it's only funny if it works, right? It's only swaggy if it works, and he did. And again, the reason is because of foresight. He knew that I have no Fausts, I need Telemines, and he had a great early game. Lifer was really shoved back. I feel like if it was perhaps any other map, maybe barring Angoville, then Burmie would have just triple capped, bled Lifer to death pretty early on, 30 minutes or so. But really good unit preservation from Lifer. Didn't lose any of the infantry squads until quite late when a good Panzerwerfer barrage came through. Good vehicle preservation as well, Lifer with his tanks. I think maybe the biggest mistake here from Lifer is he was a bit too shy with the tulips. I feel like there were a lot of times that he could have tulipsed and had a very good impact, but just didn't burn it, and it's actually not a long cooldown, and it's only 80 munitions too, so it's really not a big deal when you have that much float. And the same thing as everyone else that ever plays this commander, but he didn't use advanced cover combat. He had 3 squads. He was floating up the munitions. It's not an amazing bonus, but it's certainly better than nothing, and it works even out in the open. It works all the time.
Yeah. And I suppose you do get baited into, I want the perfect tulip shot. It's like, and you're sitting there like, oh, it's not quite right. Oh, if I back away a little bit more, I go a little bit more forward, maybe I can get a better shot. And then it gets to the point where you don't use it because all of a sudden it's a bad situation instead of a not perfect one, and you end up not blowing the tulips. And I've certainly fallen into that trap.
So the tulips on top of the raw damage, which isn't a crazy amount, but it basically just gives you 2 free hits from the Firefly. You fire 1 shot off, then you tulips, then you're going to fire 1 shot off again, and then the tank will be unstunned and start driving away, but then you should get a 3rd shot off. So it gives a really good damage potential for the Firefly to essentially get 3 shots off before you have to worry about backing away, unless you're getting caught by a pack or something else in the area. So yeah, I just think it's just such a good combination now, the tulips and the good rate of fire on the Firefly. I'm a big fan of that unit. A lot of fun to use. I actually don't really like playing Brits that much, but I love using the Firefly, so it's such a fun unit to use. Yeah. But I don't like the playstyle overall of Brits. It's a bit janky without having snares and such. But anyway, that was an excellent game. Hope you enjoyed the cast. We sure did. And if you do want to support the channel, then you can do so via a Patreon backing. We are posting videos full-time. It's my full-time job, posting a video every day on the channel while doing reviews and an RTS discussion along those lines. So it would be greatly appreciated if you could, a backing on Patreon or a PayPal donation, something like that.
We would certainly appreciate it.
All right, see ya.
Cheers.